Welcome back to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Our next guest is Jamie Quinn from KW. Jamie, welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Awesome. Pleasure to have you. We like to do stuff very differently here. We don't like to brag about numbers. We don't like to brag about production. We want to know like personal stories. We believe that that's what makes you awesome.
Yes.
So before we get into how awesome and wonderful of a realtor you are, we want to talk about the pre-realtor Jamie.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about your journey, how you got into real estate, because no one really says in second grade at the future career day, I want to be a realtor. It's normally like I was a waitress, I was a bartender, I was a nurse, I was a dental assistant, and blah, blah, blah. And I somehow stumbled into real estate, and now I'm a killer.
Yep.
So what was your story?
Okay, so a bullet point fun fact about me. I grew up in Kensington.
Okay.
I have all my teeth.
Nice.
I was very lucky.
Wait, was it East Kensington or West Kensington that you grew up in? Because there really wasn't a thing. There wasn't a thing then, but
yeah. So I grew up in Kensington. I had a very good opportunity to. I was very fortunate. I got a scholarship.
Okay.
I went to private school, 1st grade to 8th grade, and then from there I got a scholarship and I went to a boarding school in Yardley. So I was like, I'm out. And from there, I just like met rich people, and I was like, "This is very different."
Way better than Kenzo.
So I was like, "Whatever I do, I will. That's what I want to do." So I graduated high school in 2007. My best friend was always involved. His family was always involved in real estate. He joined a real estate team. I followed suit. I went to college for 3 minutes. Hated it. Started working at Del Frisco's Steakhouse in Philly, so I was a waitress. And nailed it. I was the best. Like I loved it. My regulars were my family, and it really taught me. It didn't teach me sales, but it really was an environment that allowed me to hone in on my salesmanship.
The coolest people are waiters and waitresses, and bartenders too. Don't get me wrong. But when you meet somebody that you know is not an asshole, you kind of think like you were definitely a waiter or a waitress. You were in the public service of some way, shape, or form. You know right away.
Yeah, we're a therapist. I wore many hats. I waited on people and their wives, and I waited on them and their mistresses, and I waited on them with their business partners. So, which Jamie
Yeah.
So it was a natural transition. I was making a ton of money as a waitress. So I was like, oh, if I could sell steaks, I could sell houses.
Right.
My best friend did it. I started at Coldwell Banker in 2013. Then my best friend started a team at Keller Williams. Then he accidentally moved to Florida.
Accidentally?
Yeah, just during COVID, and then just, started.
Didn't come back?
Yes, it makes sense. So I started my own team with Mike McCann, the real estate man.
I love Mike.
Yeah, Mike's the best. And I started that team in about 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
So 2023 was a good year. I have my team. I had a baby. I got married. Had a 300-person wedding.
Beautiful.
And yeah, I wear many hats. So that's how we got here.
That's awesome. Do you tend to gravitate towards a specific type of customer? Are you first-time home buyer? Are you step-up buyer? Are you luxury? Are
all
you
of it?
All of it.
And I wasn't all of it at first. But I've gotten to the point where I've mastered this onto the next, mastered that onto the. I don't say mastered because I'm always learning, but got very comfortable with things. So now I just don't turn business down. I know a lot of people during COVID, their businesses shifted downward a lot because they were only good at one thing.
Right.
So like developers, well, lumber was through the roof. Construction costs were through the roof. So the developers couldn't get the prices for these new construction properties. So they didn't know how to work with the little old lady selling her house and going into a 55 and older community or whatever. But I can cover everything. But only because I like to really dedicate my time to really master a craft. And then I'm never going to turn that business down.
Sure.
But now I'm good at it. I rattle it off. I can offer as much value as I can, and then I can still learn other things. So first-time home buyers are still my specialty. I love helping people. I'm getting a girl into a house in, where are we at? West Philly for like $600 out of pocket.
Can't beat that. That is beautiful.
Can't beat it. Yeah. And she's going to get a roommate, house hack, the whole thing. So I love being able to add that value to people that didn't know that was possible.
Yeah.
But then I also have a 500-unit project in Cherry Hill. With two of my business partners. It's a 55 and older community. It's amazing. I'll tell you all about it at a different time. But, so I scale many different, I guess, audiences.
Do you have investors that you find flips for? Is that part of your...
So ironically, I don't really source a lot of the deals for my investors, but I do find my investors by job site hopping.
Okay.
So I basically just drive around. I look for people moving paint, moving lumber. I get out. I'm like, hey, what are you doing with this? Are you selling it? Are you keeping it? And I essentially just try to find a pain point. And I say, what is your biggest obstacle right now? Give it to me. Let me fix it.
Okay.
So most of the time, that's saving them a lot of money on their commercial loans or getting things at a cheaper cost, or sourcing them deals. But so I work with literally everybody. If I can add value, I will work with you.
I always try to talk about a topic with female realtors. How do you get over the stereotype of a attractive female might not be as smart as whatever? If you talk to a contractor, they don't treat you like a dumb blonde. How do you smack that in the face and get through that?
So for me, I think I would have been a really good lawyer, but it was very, I didn't even care to try that route, just too much school, too much money. But I try to to me, information is power. So if I can load up on information and at least get some speaking points so I at least know what I sound like I'm talking about.
Right.
And then I just get the experience from there. And luckily, my business partners that run my team with me are way more experienced than me. So if I don't know the answer, I know who does.
Okay.
So I'm confident enough to add value, and I know what questions to ask, and I know what a developer is looking for. And I can guide the conversation to where I can find a point where I can add value. And if I need backup, I have it.
Okay.
So it's really just information is power. But I'll use the fact that I'm a female to get in anything.
Right.
So it's funny you bring that up because people's perceptions are the reality, and I tell people that. I tell my agents that. So if you can anticipate the objections you're going to get up front,
sure,
you're already ahead of the game.
Yeah.
So I was 22 when I started, so I already knew I'm young, I'm blonde. They think I'm dumb, and so what can I do to offset that? So I bought a Range Rover.
Okay.
And I was like, win-win. Well, win-win-win. Dream car. Now I have to work harder to afford it.
To pay for it, right.
And now, literally, I went on my first listing appointment. Like, this guy was definitely just trying to, date me or whatever. But whatever. I set the meeting because it's my job to now add value.
Sure.
So he walks me to my car. He literally said, "This is your car." I was like, "That's my name on the license plate, isn't it?" Got a custom license plate. His perception of me immediately changed.
Yeah.
Just because of that car.
It's crazy how that works.
But I was like, oh, fuck, it worked.
Yeah, listen, if you can get the door open some way and then kick it in once it's open and do your thing, that's the way to go. I always find it, I was raised by a woman. My mom was a single mom. I got a bunch of daughters. And I'm always trying to, I have 6 daughters altogether. And I always try to make them strong women. Most of them are black belts in karate, but you don't want to be too rigid. You know what I mean? Because there's, you got to be feminine. You have to be yourself,
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of times the caveman mentality of some guys would be, you can't.
Well, I also, and this is where me partnering with certain people is very helpful. I do work with a lot of developers that think like that. So I just know who I'm speaking to, and I know who I need to bring in for what, and I know when to actually listen and when to be aggressive with my suggestions and things like that.
Gotcha.
So it's just kind of matching your audience. I'm not going to speak Spanish to someone who only speaks Chinese.
Right.
So it's really just about this is where the bartender realtor comes in. I can, for the most part, and this isn't me being judgy, but
you can read the room.
I can read the room and I kind of know exactly what you want, what you're looking for, what you think about me, and it helps me kind of be a chameleon, not in a fake way, but just in a how can we speak the same language type of thing.
Yeah. And as far as your team goes, what do you look for in a team member? Is there, you like to have all women team? Do you I personally try to get somebody from every different background because I know that makes people more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
If I could have someone of every different racial background working here, I would love that because I think that plays to other things. Just a natural attraction for somebody. They trust and they feel comfortable. If you have someone who's Russian, they want to deal with someone who's Russian, or they want to feel comfortable having somebody there. Yeah. How do you bring team members in, and what's one or two things that absolutely must have for team members?
So honestly, it's really just your vibe attracts your tribe. Okay. That's literally what it comes down to. I can't teach work ethic and I can't teach common sense. Hustle, but I could teach everything else.
Right.
So if you have that, now I don't necessarily bring brand new agents on the team. If they are brand new, I do require that they'll go to some sort of coaching because I don't have the time to teach you how to write a contract. There's other people for that. Right. My ideal agent is somebody that works hard, morally sound, and maybe does 1 to 5 million, and that I can help mentor and make a $15-20 million agent.
Sure.
And we do that. I don't pay for leads. I've never paid for a lead in my life. Just very organic, teaching my agents how to fish. Okay. And I'll support. I took 2 of my agents job site hopping with me. I was like, they want to get more involved with developers. You can come with me, listen to what I say. Anybody we find, we'll split 50-50.
Okay.
I'm not greedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, anybody that I would want at my Thanksgiving table is kind of that.
Okay.
So we have and just because of that energy, and that's what we attract, and that's kind of the vibe that we have, we just get diverse people. It just is what it is. We have Russian, we have Spanish, we have white, we have black, we have, we have Asian. Yeah.
Nice. Now you said work ethic, and that's one of my buzzwords. So how did you get your work ethic? Is there someone?
My dad's son.
You're okay.
Through and through.
That's your person
sometimes
in your
I
life?
say stuff and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm my dad. He spitting image,
grinder and entrepreneur kind of thing, or
he works for Caterpillar, Foley, big machines, but loyal. He's been there since he was 18. Just blue collar guy, screams at the Eagles, drinks Miller Lite, wears dungarees. That's it. Starter jackets. He's your typical Kenzo dad.
But what about the entrepreneur side? There had to be someone that made you...
I don't know. I just think... This is weird, but I think I've lived before.
Okay.
Okay? I'm not religious, but I do believe in energy. Okay. And I just think that I have these ideas, and the way I think about things when I'm presented them, I'm very solution-based. So when things are presented to me, I'm like, this is natural, right? But the more I'm around other entrepreneurs and other business people, I'm like, so you just didn't think of this? How does it not make sense to you? It's the first thing that came to my mind. And so I just think I have a lot of ideas and I like to see them through. So just from doing that on repeat, and I think I'm a good person at heart. So just doing that on repeat, I'm just go, go, go. And then the success follows. Right. The money follows if you're just doing things for the right reason.
Sure.
On upward.
Nice.
Go, go, go.
What about this is a stressful line of work, and deals fall apart, and there's times where I want to run people off the road and stuff like that. What do you do for your mental well-being? Do you have an outlet, or do you do a certain thing, whether it's prayer, meditation, yoga, kickboxing, archery?
Do like my wine.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I did have a glass of Cabernet at 10 in the morning the other day. I was on a plane, but
that's all right.
Honestly, that's something I'm working on. So I was a big hothead.
Okay.
Big hothead. Big temper. Holes in walls, beat it, grown men up. I don't care. Hothead. And now I am zen as fuck. For no reason.
For no reason?
Except for the fact that I've realized. So I have 4 kids.
Okay.
2 dogs, a cat, a bearded dragon. I sell in Philly. I sell in Jersey. I have 14 agents on my team. I have about 500 older residents in this community.
Okay.
And 500 units to fill.
Okay.
So I have 500 grandparents. So I stay very busy. And I've found that just being in control of my calendar gives me peace.
Okay.
Just feeling like, okay, I've time blocked this is on my calendar and it's set. And I treat my, dinner dates with my husband just as important as a meeting with a developer. Like if it's in my calendar, I am there.
Now, are you like color coded and all kinds of stuff like that?
Yep. If it's pink, it's my Plaza Grands 55 and older community.
Okay.
If it's orange, it's my kids' musical practice, this birthday party. If it's purple, it's a trip, which is very rare.
Right.
If it's blue, it's all my real estate meetings.
Okay.
Just so I visually can see it. And I guess the biggest thing is I time block now on Mondays and Fridays to get my shit together.
Okay.
I literally look at the kids' schedules. If the dogs they're up to date on their vaccines, what we need for groceries, what we're doing for dinner this week versus like, am I going to be at a networking event? Like I'll get tacos that night, but when did the kids have practice? And then I do my pendings, my active clients, my prospecting. Then I work on my business and then in my business. So doing that I feel at peace.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it.
Do you go off the rails every once in a while? Is it like a...
I'd like to think I'm more funny than just, I'm not upset, but my director of operations, she is like my right-hand man. Mm-hmm. We do talk a lot of shit to each other. We vent, we send memes and all that, but I drink my wine at night and that's pretty much it.
Nice. Yeah. All right, now we'll talk a little bit about future stuff because we talked about present, we talked about past. Let's move the calendar to 2026. Mm-hmm. Tell me some things that you personally, you as a team, business-wise, what do you want to accomplish? What's on your vision board? What's on your checklist in the next 2 years?
So I would like at least one more kid in that time frame.
Okay.
My goal
was
always...
Go to a 5 spot?
Yeah, my goal was always 6 because, like, somebody's got to wipe my ass when I'm older.
Rookie move.
Right there. Right? I want one more kid. I would like to get build my dream house because we've outgrown this one clearly.
Yeah.
As far as my team, I just want to see everybody thriving.
Okay.
I want to be like having a team dinner where we're just like really celebrating everyone's accomplishments personally and in business, and say, look how far we've come since we started, and look at the impact that we've made in all these people's lives. 2 years from now, the goal would be in this next year is to be completely done this Plaza Grand 55 and older community and just hit every 55 and older community and improve their quality of life, which is what we're doing here. So that, and then ideally I just realized that I think I would like to be a motivational speaker. Okay. So I could see me like on stage at a college or maybe even my high school that I went to. I find that I can be very motivating. Okay. And I think, I could spread that motivation and energy to other people. So awesome. That's where I see myself.
All right. Final question, your personal question.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with famous person. I think that's the best one.
First
concert? No, we don't want to go. You get a half an hour to sit down and interview anyone, live or dead, famous, not famous. Could be anyone who ever lived.
Okay. Well, if you can help me reach this person through this video, it would be Blythe Daner Paltrow.
Okay.
Gwyneth Paltrow's mom.
Okay.
She paid my tuition.
Okay.
At my boarding school.
Wow.
Never met her, but I would write her letters and let her know what I'm doing, my grades. I washed dishes in the kitchen. I was a tour guide. I played sports. I did all of it. So, having somebody be so generous with their money is insane to me, that this person had like $150,000 extra to just spend on someone she never met.
Yeah.
So now that I'm in a position where I would really like to start giving back, I've gotten more involved with the alumni events at my school, and I would really like to start doing that. I would just like to shake her hand and thank her because it changed my life.
That is so awesome.
So probably her.
That's one of the better answers we've had. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't beat Jesus. Someone said Jesus. That's
I think he would punch me in the face, light me on fire.
I would be intimidated with that one.
Oh my God! I'd be like, no, anyone but him.
No, not that one. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
coming by. We'll be back with the next guest on Mr. Mortgage's Neighborhood.